Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Delta Entertainment Daily. I am your host, Liquor Kenobi. And before we get started, I would like you guys to do me one little favor as to, hold on 1 second, I'm a little, hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel. Would appreciate that very, very much. All right, let's get into this. So, we got tomorrow, Thanksgiving, to be with family, enjoy ourselves a good meal, have a good football, watch some football games, and then maybe later on for us, for people like me, we're going online live and have some fun. All right, so let's get in our first topic for the day. So I got some articles, so bear with me, guys. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go our first topic here for the day, and it is right here. Oops, gotta get this. There we go. Sean Levy says no studio interference from Lucasfilm's Star Wars Starfighter are entirely original. So, Sean Levy has sworn and he made a promise that no one from Lucasfilm is involved with this project. This is his own story. This is not their influence, nothing. It is his movie, his story. That's it. So let's look at the article and see what we got here. See, we have some discussion. So, Sean Levy revealed how Lucasfilm dealt with him while making his new Star Wars movies in a recent interview. Director of Deadpool and Wolverine and the currently filming Star Wars Starfighter appeared on the podcast The Business to talk about his various projects. He was asked about the pressures he felt in developing his Star Wars films. He said that Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy reached out to him and asked him to direct a Star Wars movie. When he asked what it would be and to which existing Star Wars movies it would be connected, Kennedy told him, "It's whatever you want it to be," specifying that he could choose what story he wanted to tell, and even the film's writer, and imbued it with the feeling that his movie have, with the goal of making an entirely original Star Wars movie. So Kathleen just said basically, whatever you want to do. If you don't want it involved with the sequel trilogy or whatever, it's all yours. That's what she said, and it's right here. If you want to look at this right here in the Star Wars Holocron. So Levy said that as he began making Star Wars Starfighter, the only mandate or interference he got from Lucasfilm was constant encouragement to make this new. He compared Star Wars Starfighter to Solo: A Star Wars Story and The Rise of Skywalker, saying that it's not a prequel or a sequel like those films, but all new characters based on new ideas that Jonathan and he cooked up alone and together. To that end, Starfighter is set in a time period that's never been in a Star Wars movie, and it's not about legacy characters, though his goal is to make sure it has the sense of joy and adventure that A New Hope had. Levy reiterated that Lucasfilm only notes where to make it new. And there it is right here. Sean Levy shared it right here in Fandom Pulse. You guys want to check that out? You guys could. Hey, I'm going to say this. I'm going to be truthful and I'm going to say it like this. I do hope that this Star Wars movie does better than Mandalorian Grogu. I'm going to be truthful. Because despite what Jon Favreau said about the Mandalorian Grogu movie, that it's not season 4, I still don't trust what he's doing with it. Because you're keeping Grogu far too long. Grogu should have been done after season 2 of The Mandalorian. Hell, it should have been done after the Book of Boba Fett episode. It should have been done, plain and simple. And then season 3 would have just have him doing another adventure of him being a bounty hunter and doing something new on what's going on. But no. Oh no. Jon Favreau decided to keep Grogu for a bit longer. And people are sick and tired of it. People are sick and tired. And I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. That is my opinion and everything. So, if you guys don't like it, I'm sorry. That's the truth. But like I said, dude, But for this movie and what Sean Levi has said, I will believe it till I see it. So I am hoping that this movie does well. I really am hoping for it. That make it a new directive extended to legacy characters from previous Star Wars film, as Levi revealed that when he asked whether he should use an established character, Lucasfilm told him, you know what? People have seen that do something new. He says the freedom he's had from studio interference on Starfighter is equal to any other movie he's made, even original films, calling the experience liberating. Levi's comments contradict rumors, which were more assumptions based on rumors than anything else, that Star Wars Starfighter would end with Ryan Gosling's hero delivering a force-sensitive child to Daisy Ridley's Rey to train as a Jedi, which would lead into the Rey solo film that has stalled multiple times, which it has. Because, I mean, face it, their writer, he left the project, you know, and the director, she has not come up with a story yet. She has not come up with a story. So, I think that project is done. I think that project is dead. In fact, even the rumor that spawned this theory, that Starfighter would be the beginning of a new trilogy that would feature a big cameo at the end, doesn't fit with Levi's account. It's also called back to a story from Den of Nerds that claimed Disney CEO Bob Iger was the source of Star Wars trouble, and Kathleen Kennedy was the voice of reason trying to save the franchise. Her interactions with Sean Levi sound closer to that than someone trying to force her vision on filmmakers. However, her attitude towards Star Wars Starfighter could also be the result of Star Wars' decline and the necessity to do something different, and it works. We'll know more than Star Wars Starfighter, and it's going to be released on May the following year. So like I said, dude, I mean, if Sean Levi has confirmed that this movie's got nothing to do with the prequels, nothing to do with the sequel trilogy, or nothing to do with the Rey movie and everything, I'm up for it. I do hope this movie does well. I hope it does better than The Mandalorian and Grogu. However, I will be still watching it to review it, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see. Now, another article that we're going to talk about, and this is big, and this is due to Warner Brothers. Now, Warner Brothers, they still want big money. And David Zaslav still wants that $30 per share. Come on. I mean, right now, Paramount, David Ellison, he's already throwing $27 per share. What the hell is with the 30? That's $30 per share will be $70 billion. Man, that's a bit too much. You know, Paramount is willing to take everything, willing to take all the studios that Warner Brothers has. And David Zaslav wants more money. But this is ridiculous. So right now, he is trying to do a second bid by Monday, which is this coming Monday. That's crazy, dude. That's just nuts. And we're going to discuss a bit of details on this, because let me tell you, there is a lot going on with this. So here we go. Let's get on this right now. The bidding war for Warner Bros. Discovery is just getting started, as Bloomberg reports that the studio is asking the studio for a second round of bids by Monday. Deadline Variety has since confirmed this reporting. The new bids will obviously be higher than the initial bids that came in on November 20th. The second round of bids for Warner Bros. Discovery may result in a period of exclusive negotiations with one of the companies should one of the candidates emerge as the clear winner. The amount of bids is unknown, which tracks with Paramount Skydance CEO David Ellison's statement. A Warner Bros. Discovery sale is a confidential process that all involved will respect. I mean, Jesus God, dude. I mean, Netflix let's face it, with Netflix, they are not gonna go. They're not gonna get all of it. They're not willing to take the whole entire thing. They're just gonna only take the movies. That's what Netflix wants. Netflix wants just the movies. And Netflix did promise that the movies that they do will go into theaters. I doubt that. I doubt it. Because look what happened to K-Pop Demon Hunters. If Netflix would have left K-Pop Demon Hunters in theaters, I bet you the movie would have made money. Like, don't put it on Netflix. Just let it go in theaters and see if it makes money. And it has been making money. But then, of course, they pulled the plug. Frankenstein was the same thing. They could have done that, but they didn't. They decided to shove it into theaters. To shove it off. Stranger Things, the last episode, I believe, is going to be coming out in theaters. But also, the last episode is going to be coming out on Netflix. So why? Netflix needs to force people a bit to, like, if they want to see this, they got to go watch it in the theater. Of course, they don't do that. So, I don't trust Netflix. But not only that, now, Comcast, of course, they are friends with Warner Brothers because they asked them if they can borrow Harry Potter into their theme parks. And then, of course, they got approval of having Scooby-Doo in their theme park also for the Fan Night Fest event. But like I said, I mean, Comcast would be a good deal also if they go with it, if they take everything. But I don't know. I mean, Paramount's got the higher upper ground. Paramount is saying that they're willing to take it all. Paramount's willing to get it all. Netflix, no way. But you also got Saudi Arabia involved. Now, all the other articles have not talked about it yet. Only I've read from Cosmic Book News, but you never know. It is a possibility. It is a possibility in that. So let's keep reading, and then I'll give you another article that we got here. Aside from Paramount Skydance, Netflix and Comcast are the other bidders for Warner Bros. Discovery. Comcast, which owns NBC Universal, and Netflix are only trying to buy Warner Bros. Films and television studios, as well as HBO and HBO Max, while Paramount Skydance wants the whole company, including cable networks. Yesterday, reports were that this could push Paramount Skydance over the top in the bidding fracas, as the company would be willing to take CNN, which nobody else seems to want. Of course. I don't think Comcast is willing to get CNN. And there's talk, and you know about this part, and you know about this, that Paramount, they said that if they get the Warner Bros. Discovery, the DC Universe, James Gunn is out the door. He's gone. That could bring in Zack Snyder and his Snyderverse. Now that is big news for Snyderverse fans. To be honest, I'd rather watch the Snyderverse than James Gunn's crap. Than what he's been putting out there, bro. I'm sorry. You know? I mean, after that Superman movie, it's going to be... I got a bad feeling about the Supergirl movie that's coming out next year. Because they're doing a lot of changes. Especially because of what they're looking for, what they want. But who knows? And right now, you got Trump, which we're going to talk about in another article, has been greenlit. Rush Hour 4 has been greenlit at Paramount after push from Donald Trump. Paramount is teaming up with Warner Brothers to distribute, but Rhett Renner, who coincidentally just made a documentary about Melania Trump, will return to direct. So, this is big news. And that's nice, Bo. And I can't wait to see these two back. Jackie Chan and Chris Rock. I mean, Chris Tucker, man. I can't wait to see these two come back, bro. Because the Rush Hour series was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. So yeah, like I said, there is a lot going on. And you got one other person who supports this. You got one other person who is in support of this. So here we go. We have James Cameron says David Ellison is the best choice to buy Warner Brothers. Netflix would be a disaster. You got James Cameron, the man that's behind Titanic, the Terminator 1, Terminator Judgment Day, Avatar series. Can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. And it's like I said, dude, I mean, this is a guy that you can trust right now at the moment. So it's like I said, it is. I mean, James Cameron is supporting this, bro, and I believe that Paramount will get this. I believe Paramount will get it. So here's what he has said about Netflix. Cameron didn't mince words regardless Netflix gaining control of Warner Brothers. Netflix will be a disaster. Sorry, Ted, but geez. Santos has gone on the record saying theatrical films are dead. Theatrical is dead, quote unquote. Cameron went further, criticizing the streamers' well-known strategy of placing films in theaters for only a week or so in order to gain Oscar eligibility, a practice many in Hollywood have long viewed as a workaround rather than a genuine theatrical commitment. When Baloney pointed out that Netflix has stated it will still release multi-brother films in theaters if they manage to snag the studio, Cameron dismissed the claim outright. It's a sucker bait. We'll put the movie out for a week or 10 days. We'll qualify for Oscar consideration. See, I think that's fundamentally rotten to the core. A movie should be made as a movie for theatrical. And the Academy Awards mean nothing to me if they don't mean theatrical. I think they've been co-opted, and I think it's horrific. So yeah, I mean, he said a lot. He has said a lot about it. So, it's like I said, dude. I mean, this is something that Hollywood, that Warner Brothers needs to start thinking about. Because if Warner Brothers gives it to Netflix, I believe that's what's going to happen. I believe that's what's going to happen. They let the movie come out in a couple of weeks, and after that, it's shelved and it's back on streaming service. Because they've done it on multiple movies. They've done it multiple times, and I think it's wise that they're gonna ruin it. But we'll see. But I'm going to show you another one because James Cameron. I got this article from comicbookmovie.com, and this does not look good. This does not look good for him. So I'm going to show you this right now. Avatar Fire and Ice director James Cameron is willing to walk away from the franchise if the threequel fails. So basically, if Fire and Ash fails in the box office, and it fails the fans, there ain't going to be no part 4 or part 5. Let's get into the detail to see what's going on. Let's get into that detail. For better or worse, filmmaker James Cameron has decided to devote the remainder of his career to the Avatar franchise. The Terminator Aliens director will release the 3rd chapter for Fire and Ice next month, and he has plans for at least 2 more sequels. In 2009, Avatar broke box office records by grossing over $2 billion. To make it to surprise of many box office pundits, Avatar, the Way of the Water, did the same thing, but will the 3rd time be a charm for Cameron? If not, he's willing to walk away from the franchise, and the director won't be passing the reins to anyone else. I've been in Avatar for Land for 20 years, and actually 30 years, because I wrote it in 1995. But I wasn't working consistently on it for those first 10 years. There was a brief flurry of interest in 95, and then everybody said, "You're out of your mind," and I shelved it for 10 years. And then we got serious in 2005. Yeah, absolutely sure. He said, addressing this possibility of Fire and Ash being where the Avatar story concludes. If this is where it ends, cool. There is one open thread. I'll write a book. I'll answer everybody's questions. Pushed on whether he considered letting anyone continue the Avatar franchise. Cameron replied, "Absolutely not. Look, I have choices there. There are levels in which I can immerse. I don't think there ever be a version where there is another Avatar movie that I didn't produce closely." Regardless of how Avatar Fire and Ashes fares at the box office next month, Cameron has 10 other projects in the pipeline and may helm one of those next. Ghost of Hiroshima has been named as the possibility by the trades, but the filmmaker isn't so sure. So yeah, like I said, I mean he's got a lot in mind. So yeah, if this Avatar film does not do well in the box office, he doesn't want no one else doing it. He's done if the Avatar movie does not succeed. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But let's get back into this news. So let me see if I'm sure we got something else that we can talk about here. No. We got one more. Yeah, this is our last one. Okay. So right now, as you know, that Trump has brought, because of Trump, he pushed Paramount to push another Rush Hour film. And let me tell you, this has been a good news for fans. And let me tell you, Rush Hour, I liked it, the franchise. I liked it, the three movies. They were pretty good. Pretty good comedy and action, you know. And especially these two. So right now, it's in the works. It's in the go. So we're going to see how that goes. All right, so let's take a read at this and see what we have. In a twist nobody had on their Hollywood bingo card, Rush Hour 4 is finally happening. And yes, it's Rush Hour 4 President Trump reportedly pushed for behind the scenes. So according to the Hollywood Reporter, Paramount is closing in on a deal to distribute Rush Hour 4, making Brett Ratner's first narrative feature since 2017, and the first return of Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker in nearly 2 decades. But the bigger shock isn't Ratner's comeback, it's how Paramount is able to distribute a franchise historically rooted inside Warner Bros. New Line Cinema. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to say it like this. Trump is really encouraging Paramount to get Warner Brothers. He's willing to get it. He wants that studio. He wants it all. Because he wants to make sure Paramount makes these changes on these certain studios, especially CNN in particular. So I mean this this is something. So let's take a read at this. The Hollywood Reporter states plainly that the move reportedly comes after a push from President Trump, who has a strong ties to Larry Ellison and son David Ellison, the latter who runs Skydance, Paramount's new owner. Semaphore initially revealed that Trump's personally pressed Paramount to revive Rush Hour, as well as Jean-Claude Van Damme's actioneer Bloodsport. In today's Hollywood, where activist executives and risk-averse boards spend more time virtue signaling than giving audiences what they want, the idea of a president pushing for buddy cop comedy sequels almost feels refreshing. Trump didn't ask for a progressive lecture discussed as entertainment. He asked for the fast-talking Chris Tucker and deadpan Jackie Chan kicking bad guy teeth in. Honestly, America could use a little more of that energy. Let's see. The reason Paramount is even in play for Rush Hour 4 is simple. Warner Brothers let the sequel rights slip away years ago. Even though the original trilogy was built inside New Line, a Warner-owned label, the studio, quietly allowed the rights for potential fourth film to be licensed out long before any of today's negotiations began. The decision opened the door for another distributor to swoop in, and Paramount took the opportunity. It's important to note that Warner Brothers didn't lose the rights, and this has nothing to do with the Paramount's ongoing efforts to purchase Warner Bros. Discovery. So it looks like what I'm reading here is, I think it looks like that Warner Brothers gave Paramount the go for it. Like, go for it. You can have it. Hey, they did it also with which we're going to check for sure. They also showing that there's talk that the Batman movies, not the latest ones, but the Batman movies, the old versions from 1989 to the 1997, I mean, is coming out on Paramount. So there's a possibility that this could that Paramount is going to get Warner Brothers. But like I said, dude, David Zaslav is asking way too much on this. He's asking way too much. So yeah, like I said, I mean, this is going to be tough. And yeah, it's just so funny that what Warner Brothers wants to do, man. They're giving Paramount the hard time, man. And especially David Zaslav, he just wants that $30 per share. That's all he wants. That's what he really, really wants. So, I mean, I don't know what Paramount's going to do, man, but we're going to see. We're going to see. All right. So now, let's get into this. Let's get into this another topic that we have here. Let me find it. Here we go, right here. Now, for entertainment-wise, Lanterns debuts a HBO Max upfront description, highlights filling sequence, and everything. So, it looks like HBO Max, which I missed it, has distributed a take on how the show's going to look. We've got a couple of pics in the bottom, so we're going to show you how it is. So let me show you right now what we got. So here they are right here. So as you can see right here, you got Hal Jordan and you have Jon Stewart doing some detective work. So yes, this show is going to be like a detective's work, but Hal Jordan is going to be like, they're going to be partners, but he's going to be someone that's getting ready to retire. And while Jon Stewart is going to take over, being the man in charge of Earth. But of course, you also have Guy Gardner based in the Superman movie, so he is going to be showing himself up there. But like I said, dude, I'm looking forward to this. I hope it's good, but I don't know if it's going to last one season, man, because I mean the way things have been going with the DC Universe, bro, it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. So let's get another pic of Hal Jordan right here. You can see him right here, right now. So, like I said, it's going to be different. It's going to be something. It's going to be interesting how this show is going to play out. In other news, right now we got Zack Snyder. Yet again, he's done another spoiler for the Snyderverse to return. And as you can see, this is a new pic of Zack Snyder showing off pieces of the Batman v Superman pic, which is right here. You got Ben Affleck wearing the armor and getting ready to face off against Superman. And let me tell you, that looks awesome. I mean, Jesus God, dude. I mean, Zack Snyder Zack Snyder believes it's going to happen, bro. And this is a good support. This is real good support. But not only that, you also have this right here, which we're going to put out right now. So let's get into this last article here. Trump did back Ben Affleck's Batman, and Brett Ratner financed the Snyderverse, according to Cosmic Book News. So let's read up this article and see what is up here with this. With the Rush Hour movie officially moving forward at Paramount and Warner Brothers, we've noticed on an overlooked detail, Brett Ratner already has a direct connection to Zack Snyder's DC films. And the connection goes right back to the Snyderverse era we've been told is in play to be returning. Another connection producer, Tara Ben Ammar, is lining up financing for the new Rush Hour and has strong connections with Saudi Arabia, who has been told is backing the Snyderverse return. Yeah, man, I mean, now Saudi Arabia, they have been thinking about trying to get Warner Brothers. There's been talk that they do want it, but it has not been confirmed yet. So right now, this is probably just a bit of a rumor about Saudi Arabia going after Warner Brothers. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen with this. So right now, let's see. Ratner's company, Rat Pack Entertainment, financed several Warner Brother films, including Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and the theatrical version of Justice League. That financial link puts Ratner inside the same pipeline Snyder used throughout his DC run. Ratner suddenly back in the headlines, and Trump reportedly pushing his comeback, and adds yet another unexpected tie between the current events and the Snyderverse. Now the question is, as the Rush Hour story continued trending, some fans pushed back on whether Donald Trump actually likes Ben Affleck's Batman. The answer is it's real and confirmed. Trump tweeted support for Affleck in 2013. Digging into archives shows Trump posted a supportive tweet in August of 2013 when Affleck was cast. Trump praised the decision, and tweets circulated widely at the time. Everyone should calm down. Ben Affleck is going to do a great job as Batman. And let me tell you, look, I was a bit worried about Ben Affleck when he first got cast. But in his role that he did a good job. Now, of course, in the warehouse fight scene, he didn't do that scene. But he did a great job being cast as Batman. So, like I said, I think there's a good chance. So like I said, right now, I think there's a good chance that not only Warner Brothers is going to take I'm sure that Warner Brothers is going to be taken by Paramount. And not only that, Paramount is going to definitely bring back the Snyderverse. I think that's mainly what's going to happen here, bro. And if this does happen, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a big story. But like I said, until Warner Brothers makes that final decision, which we'll know Monday we'll know something. We'll find out Monday if this happens. If Paramount gets it, we'll see. So you guys let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? So I do appreciate you guys trying to watch this video. So thank you all so much. So please, by all means, share this video, post a comment below, let me know your thoughts. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being on a part of this channel. I appreciate you guys very, very much. So thank you all.